Welcome back to the GoBros YouTube channel. Today we got a new project in the barn and it's this pop-up camper behind me. We've been looking for a camper for this summer for a while, and this one popped up on a great deal, but obviously it's got some issues that we got to get taken care of. The biggest one being the skirting around the top of the roof. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of insight of what's going on here. So on the bottom side of the skirting, this is all just totally rotted off. I'm guessing we got a couple leaks up here. So what I'm thinking, I'm gonna pull all this molding off. I'm not sure what's savable here. Obviously it needs a new seal on the bottom, but yeah, all this has gotta come out. Very similar on that side. We'll have to get fixed up. Just fiberglass sheeting or whatever you wanna call it. There's nothing behind here to support it. So it's bowed down a little bit. So we're gonna get started and get all this junk stuff ripped out, and then we'll kind of go from there. Not exactly sure what we're getting ourselves into yet.
The more I dug into this project, the worse it kept getting, but I knew that this would just make it more rewarding when it was all done at the end. And hey, look on the bright side. Most of the screws I didn't even have to take out. I was able to just pull the whole piece of trim off because the wood was so rotten underneath. Thankfully, the inside wasn't very clean yet, and I knew at the end I was going to have to clean it, so I wasn't too worried about making a big mess, because this definitely did make a big mess.
Okay, we got this side of the camper off. That's basically all the wood that came out of it. There's not much of anything left of that. And there's this piece of aluminum on the inside and this piece of fiberglass on the outside. My goal was to try to reuse this, but it's in pretty bad shape. I don't think I want to try putting that back on. So I'm going to use this as a template and cut two pieces of this plywood and line it up and fit this, and use a jigsaw obviously to cut around the corners. Instead of using the fiberglass on the outside, I'm going to use this aluminum composite signboard material. It's about an 1/8 inch thick, and that should help strengthen this up a lot and give a nice waterproof finish on the outside. I'll reuse the old trim, then I got some new seals to put in the bottom. So yeah, that should work pretty good. Get the wood cut out, and then we'll start tracing out for the signboards.
Just a side note, I did end up using the same piece of this fiberglass piece that went on the outside, just so I knew it had the same rough line and it looked symmetrical on both sides. Thankfully, I had this template to go off of, else it would have been pretty difficult to get the right rough line and get the right slope to the roof. Kind of came up with this idea to use a piece of aluminum and a router to insert the piece of aluminum into the wood, so I could give the two pieces some strength when they're together and then cover it with the aluminum signboard. I cleaned the wood off and then scuffed up the aluminum signboard so the adhesive would stick better to it. Then I just used a liquid cement that I got from Ace Hardware and applied a couple heavy coats before I stuck them together. Then I went along the outside where I knew the trim would cover with finished staples. Most all of these corner pieces were pretty beat up, and with the butyl tape and just the curve not being exactly what it should be, I had to make sure I siliconed these really good when I was done in order to keep the water out.
Okay, so we've made some pretty good progress so far. You see back there, nice new plywood. We got the bottom trim piece on, the corner on, the front trim piece on the bottom on. We're just cleaning up the trim piece that goes on the top of this side, and we'll put some butyl tape on top, get that sealed up. On the back side, we got the new piece of plywood in there, and we got to clean this up a little bit and put the bottom trim piece on. Then we'll just have to go along all the seams with self-leveling sealant and make sure this is all sealed up on the top to make sure no water gets in. Then we can get back out there and get camping again.
This side was by far the worst of the sides. This side had basically no wood left behind the fiberglass piece. And this was making the roof bow down the opposite way of what it should have bowed. But thankfully the roof was actually in really good shape, and I was able to just change out the skirting instead of having to change out the entire roof. And like I said before, this is the same fiberglass piece that the passenger side had, just so I get the same exact curve on both sides. I always underestimate just how time consuming these little projects are, but man, once you start to see it all come together, it really does make it all worth it. I'm glad that all the trim and corner pieces were savable. That definitely saved me quite a bit of money. They didn't look perfect, but with a little bit of caulk and cleaning up, they did turn out pretty good. After I was all done, I did have to adjust these riser stands just to get the camper top to go down perfectly straight, but it was pretty close from what I kind of guessed. This is another one of the issues the camper has, is the winch is pretty weak when you try to raise the top up. but that's an issue for another day.